Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so for this next quest, it brings us back out to House Fjarlin. Now we're just at the top here of the bar, and the quest giver is Inquisitor Lightbringer. So the quest itself is just actually located south, again at the top here. You can get to the top all the way down by the airship access. As well, there's another access right here in front. If you enter in from the marketplace, you can just take the ramp up there. Alright, so this is a little bit of an older quest as well. So the XP hasn't scaled as nicely, though there is a nice possible bow that you can get at the end. And this bow has gone through several iterations since its original release. Some of the older versions actually being stronger and nicer than the new one here.
The silence in the temple is nearly perfect.
Alright. So as soon as we get in here, we have this helper right at the, almost like a banquet table up front. As well, we have a secret door off to our left, or the eastern side of the room. Now, what's going to happen here, once we talk to Helfor, our secret door is going to open up, and it's going to have some enemies coming in, so just be prepared for that fight. Alright. So from here, obviously we're just going to proceed through the door and run into now some acolytes. So we do have a secret door in here, so don't worry about needing a high spot for it. They do have some low numbers. And we're just going to continue on. Now the sarcophagus that are lining the walls here, obviously you can break them. Just be warned, most of them do contain some form of undead inside of them. So if you do break them, you might end up with spawns, so just watch yourself. Another thing to watch out for is around these corners, not specifically this one here, but several of these corners throughout the quest will have traps right at the corner. So again, just watch yourself. Alright, so this first part here, we actually, as you can see, where these enemies are coming out from, there is a trap. And it's just a giant spike trap. We also have, continuing forward to the east, we have a hidden door with a couple more enemies inside. And continuing through this door, we just have a nice little shrine. So they do have a respite there just in case you need. Alright. Just gonna take out this undead here. Alright, so inside the next room to our north, we will have a whole bunch of casters, as well as a named caster kind of sitting there right in the center. And ultimately we want to kill everybody in the room here, so
a pedestal dominates the center of this chamber.
Alright, so once you've cleared the room, you want to first just approach the door here. Oh, no, sorry. First you want to talk to the book on the pedestal.
As you finish reading the passage, the doors flanking the pedestal suddenly swing open.
Okay, so they fixed that. Yeah, you used to have to approach the door here. Alright, so now it opens up the western and the eastern sides. Each one is a different element. So the one to the east here, the element is cold, so they have a lot of ice-based spells and ice-based traps. So we're gonna head here first. So our first little corner here, we have just a couple of undead and a couple of casters, nothing too major. And the reason that I chose to head off to the right, or heading east first, is because at the bottom here we actually have a shrine. So it is nice to open up the shrines there. That way if you ever do need, they're right there for you. So as you can see, these guys, they don't quite have the same amount of hit points as the enemies that we've been dealing with. Which is why, like I said, this quest is a little bit outdated. It hasn't aged so nicely. So if you are a little bit newer, this quest might be your speed and allow you to complete on some of the harder difficulties with a little less effort. Alright, so here's those starting of those traps there at the turns. And then we should have another one right after there here. At the bottom of the stairs we got just a few more enemies. And then before we actually open up that door, there is another trap right there as well. It'll be just to the left here. Or rather, the trap box is just to the left. And that just gets rid of some of the spinning blades, as this room is typically filled with the spinning blades. That box there will remove them. Another thing to note, as you enter, you will run into a lot of these methods here, which just watch yourself. Heading to our left, we have a trap box here, which will disable some of these ice jets. Not all of them, but a few of them, making it a little bit more clear towards the altar. As well, directly to our right, kind of the same thing right here as well. There we go. So, as you see, they still have a couple of jets, but it's nothing too major. But they, without getting those two traps, they definitely have almost nearly twice the amount of traps in this vicinity. Now, once you clear everything out, you just want to use the altar. And then you can go ahead and exit there. You'll also notice on the northern wall here, this is behind this little shadowy banner, I guess, or there is a shrine. I wouldn't be called that a banner. Almost like a curtain, but. And once you've pulled and activated the altar, you have completed this side, so that's the altar of Rizia. And then you can head back to the main chamber, and then we want to head obviously to the western side to complete that one, and that would be the altar of Furnia, which is fire. Now this one here has quite a few more traps than the ice side, whereas the ice we only had well, a couple at the end. This one here, as soon as you walk in, you want to head off to the right. The reason being, oh no, that's the other one there. Not yet. So we got a trap box. Right after it though, we have another box. So just watch out for that one there. It's coming up that you don't actually want to walk down the middle. And honestly, it's just a safe practice just not to walk in the middle in this this quest on this side, just because they do have some traps that only come down directly in the middle of the tunnel there. So this box here, it activates a trap literally right on the other side. So if you try to sneak through, you're gonna get hit, and it's gonna hurt. Alright, so here we go. This is the one that you definitely don't want to walk down the center. So we got a first trap here, as you can see right at the stairs. Do that we're going to want to disable here. And then I'm going to walk to the side, and that's because right there is that flame jet. So if you come down the center, you're going to get hit. Now they do have a box for that trap. Not sure why it didn't pop up. There we go. So you are able to disable it, but of course just be aware that it is there. So unlike the ice room where it had a whole bunch of, you know, cold jets and, you know, other traps in there, this one is just a straight fight. Obviously they do have a little bit of lava floor, but that's it. You open up the door and the guys are coming straight at you right from the beginning. Once you kill the enemies, all that's left is to once again go ahead and touch that altar of Furnia. The flame jets there that bursted off, don't worry, they only go in the lava. So as long as you stay on the actual solid platform, you're more than safe. Alright, so we've done both the Rizia and the Furnia sides. Now all that's left is to proceed to the main room there, and then we're going to head through that closed door that I was approaching earlier. That'd be this one here. So the door itself still shows it as shut, but we now have the two runes lit up. So as we approach, the door will swing open. I want to point that out, as I've known a few people like run by, look at the door, notice that it's still closed, not stopping to look at the runes, and then wonder why the door is still closed. Alright, so again we gotta be careful. Basically each of these stairways in this hall here, there's going to be a trap. Now these are not a cold or a fire trap, rather a force-based trap, so just watch yourself there. These are also about the only traps that are a little bit harder to avoid by jumping. Alright. So now we've reached essentially the final room here. So it's a large open room, and in it it's just a few undead, or sorry, a few acolytes, as well as a couple undead. They also have along the wall here rows of sarcophagus, both on the eastern and western wall. If you want to get that full ransack bonus, make sure you grab them. As you'll see here, we're making our way there. Also, another thing is just make sure you kill the undead that are spawning out of them. Typically, going one at a time does make things easier. Alright, so now that we got all those, you'll see that we are still missing a couple of breakables, and they're actually just inside this room here, which has our final enemy and our final boss. Now, this guy can actually be fairly difficult. It is a vampire, and this character has a fairly large regeneration capability. Now, the easy way to kill him, if I even have it, is with, which it appears I do not, is with silver weapons. So yeah, I don't actually have any silver weapons here at the moment. But if you have any type of silver or anything like that, I think I have it on my actual crossbow itself. You'll bypass that damage reduction, making it go quite a bit quicker. Um, he also has a decent amount of hit points too, especially compared to everything else. Now this guy, like a lot of boss-style vampires, after you hurt them a little bit, they're going to spawn into a wave of wolves and just kind of spawn in the summons. And before I forget, let's grab these breakables. So there we go. Don't need many. And yeah, you just want to beat on him. As you can look, if you watch his hit point bar, once he comes back, you can actually see the rate at which it is increasing. Like, it is jumping fairly quickly. Even getting hit by the fire from the turret, like, it is just quickly rising. And so if you're not doing a lot of damage, his regen can definitely take over. And that's pretty much it. So once you're done here, you're going to want to loot the chests. Grab those. And see if you got the bow. Now the bow is called Bow of the Silver Flame, which I did not get. I am going to try a reroll. Well, we got a bow, just not the bow I want. So the bow is fairly hard to get, but ultimately, I mean, I don't usually use those type of characters anyway, so it's not too big of a loss for me. But they are a really nice bow to get. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. It's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one, all.